to this episode of the Success Secret podcast with your host Hussein Talib. In this episode, I have with me Nico Lagan to talk about amazing things about marketing, sales, and specifically more about content creation and content creators. Nico's journey underscores a vital lesson for the digital age. In a world full of content, genuine connection must be a thing that stands out. By blending sales techniques, NLP, psychology, and AI, Nico has pioneered a strategy that is not just reaching audiences but touching lives. In doing so, he has redefined what it means to be a content creator. Nico, welcome to this episode of the Success Secret podcast.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Awesome to have you here. So, this is going to be, I believe, an amazing episode, with amazing knowledge bombs in it. So, first of all, but because of this is the Success Grid podcast, I want you to tell me and the Success Grid Nation and whoever listens to this one, what do you think, first of all, what success is to you?
Oh boy, that's a good question. Let's just say that it has changed a lot over the past few months. Right now, I would say that my success will be based on me doing more good than bad on this planet. You know, I gauge my actions or my success now based on making this earth a better place. I want to know that when I die, this world was better with me in it than me not in it, if that makes sense. I used to have very specific goals. All as a sales engineer, I would do my goals, reverse engineer every little step in order to get there. But over the past few months, this completely changed. So
Yeah.
I've put my faith in something greater than myself. So
Yeah. So, talk to us about this change that you had. And what is this thing that is greater than you?
well, if you want to talk about God, brother, we can talk about God. But this is,
Oh, okay.
I have purpose that was given to me, and that's what I'm doing now. Is
Cool.
just following what I'm being told to do.
Awesome. So by yourself, you think that there's a lot of things that connected to your success, not just monetary was and what we are going to talking about, marketing, sales, and content creation. So these a lot of things that are combined in one person's life. It's not just the materialistic things that we all the time looking for, right?
There's studies that will show that once you meet a certain minimum, last time I had checked, it was between $40,000 to $60,000 per year. That if you made a minimum amount of money to meet your basic needs, there's no difference in happiness between those levels and making millions of dollars. So, as much as your goals could be making millions of dollars, and there's nothing wrong with that, I do want to make a lot of money, but not for me. I want to do it in a way that I can give it back.
Mm,
This is the thing. I have some skills that most people don't possess, which allows me to produce an income that's higher than the average, but knowing that I don't necessarily need it for myself. I
That's
want to be able to provide it to others because I think this is the right thing to do. I think
awesome.
that, happiness is not a destination, but a state of mind.
Mm,
And I think it's part of us as men or just human beings to help others. Can you truly be happy if you don't help others? If you don't make this place a better place? I don't think so.
Yeah,
So
you are absolutely right. You have to help yourself first, and then you can help others because you cannot just like I think there is a Chinese proverb going a little bit on that. You cannot just give people the fish. You need to teach them how to fish or something like that. So this is a good
100%.
idea. Yeah, right.
It's the same thing if you look at airplanes. They will tell the parents to put the air mask on first before they put their children on. It's the same principle. You need to become selfish in order to understand what you can contribute to this planet. So your first steps to become selfish, to understand what your values are, what can you bring to this world, and then give it away.
Yeah.
So this is why the people that I help, I only help people that want to help others. This
Mm.
is why I started my new podcast, Men Helping Men. I just want to speak to men that are helping other men become good men.
Yeah, exactly. So now that's very important when you are talking about sales, marketing,
Mhm.
and all of this social media and businesses, and more specifically, I would say like online businesses. This is something that I like look forward and always strive to do as much as I can is to be authentic. Now,
Mhm.
how much that is, I believe this is the first step in being there, right? So, how do you think that thing authenticity is being that important in you building your your online profile, your digital presence, and all of that?
It's everything. How do you think I went from a couple thousand followers to about 100,000 followers within the span of a year? And I did it organically, right? I didn't, those are not bots. Those are not people I paid to have a number after my name. It's something that it's organic content that I create every day. And I, like just this morning, I think I spent an hour on responding to messages on text, or sorry, on comments that I got on a video I made last week. But it's all done through interaction. It's all done through authenticity. It is number one. If you look at the greats, if you look at a Gary Vee, if you look at the Alex Armosi, if you excuse me, if you look at some of the greatest content creators out there, they're authentic. They're just being themselves. They don't really care if you like them or not. It doesn't matter because they are who they are. They are their natural person who they were meant to be, and they're just living it to their to the, they literally are just themselves. It's really just that simple. They know who they are. They've learned who they were, and then that's what they're giving to the people. This
Mm,
is their target audience. The people that follow them, their followers, people that buy their products and services are all people that resonate with their authenticity.
mm,
And understanding authenticity is also understanding that not everybody's going to like you, that you need to stop trying to please everybody that's out there because you can't. And one of the strongest marketing advice that I one of the best advice that I can give to anybody out there is to just find who your target audience is and speak to them. Learn what they who they are, learn the mentality that they have, learn the pains that keep them up at night, learn why they're on social media in the first place, why are they there. Once you understand that, you can start creating content that resonates with them. But you need to understand who you're talking to, and who cares what the other people say, because that is also one thing that I've learned over the past few years. As I grow, is I get a lot of negative comments. I get a lot of comments that are not good. And you know what? I don't really care because those are not the people I'm speaking to. So the more authentic you become, the more yourself you're showing to the world, the more your message is going to resonate if you've done the work, if you've done the research, if you understand the people that you're trying to help. Because, maybe I should have started with that. A lot of people think that a content creator is an influencer. And an influencer is a content creator, but a content creator is not an influencer. A content creator can be a coach. It can be somebody that has a brick and mortar shop that sells t-shirts for all it matters. It could be e-commerce. It could be, as a podcaster yourself, you're a content creator. You create content. That's it. That's all it means. And today, content creation is everything. Every business out there has content creation. And if you create content, if you are your business, you are the face of your business. That means you need to be authentic because people buy you. People see, and podcasting is a great example. A lot of people believe that they can start a podcast and create an audience using their podcast, but long form content is dying. Most people, if not all people out there, will not listen to a 30-minute podcast from somebody they don't know unless somebody else that they follow, that they know, that they respect, that they like, told them to. So understanding simple principle like those, that podcasts are not an audience driver. People will listen to your podcast if they like you, if they like who you are as a content creator. Then you tell them to go follow, to go check your podcast. But you know what I'm saying? It all comes down to who you are as a person. You need to be authentic, you need to know what you stand for. What are your deep rooted values that you believe in that the people that you're trying to help also believe in? The goal is to convince people, to tell people what you believe in, and then convince them, show them that you are the expert that they need, that you have the solution to their problems.
Mm. Yeah, so you're talking here about a very important subject. First of all, authenticity is very important, especially nowadays with like there's like tons of people, and I like that you separated between an influencer and a content creator,
Mhm.
because like now we see sometimes plumbers or carpenters who
Of
have their own
course.
brick and mortars that now showing videos, for example, online, which is a
And you
good thing,
should.
right? Yeah, right.
And you should, because it's a skill no matter what. See, this is one thing. I ended up in sales. So for more than 12 years I was in high end sales as a sales engineer. I've developed the skills to take very complex telecommunication solutions and explain them to people in layman's term. So it did not matter if the people I was talking to were highly technical, because I could speak to them in their own language. But I also could speak to a VP, to a president of a company that is not a technical person, but I knew what are the highlights that he needs to know in order to take a decision. But before that, he needed to know that he could trust me. He needed to know that I meant well, that I was not there to screw him over. I was there to fill a need that they had. And again, it's all the same. Sales to me is one of the most powerful skills that people can develop. And if you look at a plumber, okay, maybe the plumber's going to fix, maybe he specializes in a home repairs, maybe he doesn't do anything commercial, all he does is home. Perfect. What's the best thing that he can do? Use a platform like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and start creating little videos of him repairing stuff that the day-to-day person can repair. Let's say you have a clog. Let's say you clog your and I know how I'm a very hands-on type of individual. I've done multiple renos by myself on houses, so your example is great. But I know that, let's say that your sink is clogged. What would you rather? Would you rather go to somebody's page and he tells you these are the top 5 things that might clog your sink? So if your sink is clogged right now, look at those 5 things. If it's not those 5 things, well, chances are that you need somebody to help you. But those are the 5 simple things that every single homeowner can do before calling a plumber. Pow, there you go. You have a great video where you're giving content, you're giving value to people. People understand that you're not trying to charge them 150 bucks an hour to come remove a tiny little thing that somebody could do at home. So you're basically proving them that you're a trustworthy person, that you really want to help people. And if those 5 things are not the problem, then you should call me and I'll help you out. But see
Mhm.
how easy that is if you understand that people want to be helped. I've done full renos off of YouTube. Just looking at YouTube, looking at video online, and I've learned everything I needed to know that I didn't know. This is But I guarantee you that if I needed help, if I needed something that I did not either feel comfortable doing, did not have the tools to do it, or it's structural, I would have called the engineer that made video to show me how to do all those little things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I
Mm.
might not need him every day, but the day that I will need his help, I trust him because he's helped me for free just because he knows.
Yeah.
Everybody
So
can do that. In the field
definitely.
that you're in, anybody can do that.
So now, speaking of that, what are the, in your opinion, you mentioned sales and we talked about, I talked about NLP and psychology, all these kind of things.
Mhm.
But what do you think are the, one of these skills or combined are important, okay, to have a successful content creation, social media profiles, and being someone who's authentic and providing value, adding something different to the world?
It's a mix of everything, because one of the best skills that you can learn in NLP is called mirroring. You learn how to mirror other people, because if you understand the psychology of human beings, we want to feel that we belong, we want to feel that we're understood, we want to feel that others have gone through what we've gone through and they have a solution to offer. This is what we need. It's one of our basic needs. Once you understand that, you start looking at human interaction. And as I was saying earlier, let's say I'm in a meeting with somebody that's extremely technical and I'm trying to sell him a very technical solution. I am going to listen. I'm going to ask him questions to understand his speech pattern. Is he a fast talker? Is he a slow talker? Is he a medium speed talker? What type of words does he use? Is he a funny guy? Does he like humor? Or is he more serious? This is the thing, right? So let's say that this is, you can do that in real life, but let's say that I help men embrace their masculinity. Let's say that that's what I do. Okay, now what are those type of men? Those men were raised by single mothers. Okay, cool. That means they're probably very emotional because they never had a man to teach them how to be more logical. How do you know what I'm saying? So this is the understanding that you need to have. Whatever you're doing, whatever content you're putting out there, always imagine the person that you're talking to. Always craft a message knowing, okay, those people are looking for this type of solution. Awesome. Who are those people? How do they think? How do they speak? What do they do on their free time? You need to learn as much as you can about the type of individual that they are so that you can create a message that resonates with them, that you mirror what they want to see. It sounds very manipulative when you think about it, but this is marketing. Look at anything you see on TV, online, anything that's trying to sell you a service. They know exactly who they're talking to. They've done the work to understand those people and they craft a message. Look at Bud Light. Look at Bud Light, what they did, right? Bud Light has been sinking because they started targeting people that were not their target audience. Now their target audience have told them, like, you know what? Screw you. We're not going to buy your product anymore because they went out of line to their target audience. However, you feel if they were right or wrong, it does not matter. It was a business decision. They tried to cash in on something, it didn't work, but they did it so badly that they alienated the people that had made them the number one beer sold in America. This is why it's so important to understand them, but always keep on track. Always think every time I create content, before I do, I will sit down and I will like, okay, how do I craft a message around what I want to talk about that will resonate with my target audience, with my followers, with my future followers? Always have them in mind. Always have them in mind. Whatever you put online, always think about your avatar. Always think about your target audience because this is who you're trying to help in the first place.
Yeah, that's very important. Like when you are in a place of trying to be in that place of what you are trying to, the message that you are trying to deliver,
Mhm.
you will get positive replies, and you will have a bigger influence and impact. I don't like to use the word influence, but this is what it is on a
Yep.
like a bigger scale, right?
But
But
it is it is the
it
proper
start
term.
yeah, it starts slow at the beginning and start to accumulate with time. But would you say is there some kind of a framework, either for someone who's new looking to do that now, or for people who are, let's say, like me, who are in the game for a while but need, for example, more?
Of course, there's definitely a framework that needs to be used in order to produce content that resonates. That there's no doubt about it. This is why I do what I do. This is why I do strategies with my clients in order to do that, because there is a certain understanding that you need to have. There is a beginning and there's an end, but where does it start? You need to understand who your audience is. I created a chat G, chat gpt now allows you to create sub programs of chat gpt that does specific things. So I've created 5 to 10 little chat gpts that helps me with clients, and one of them is a 27 question that you should know about your avatar. You
Mm.
should know exactly all these and all the answers to those questions. And chances are, I don't care who you are, if I give it to you, you probably will not know half of the answers. But this is problematic. Most people that create content needs to know this on the top of their they need to know this on the tip of their fingers, because this is who the people you're trying to help are. So this is where it starts. You need to have an understanding of who it is, the people that you're trying to help. Then you start crafting a message around that. But at the same time, you also need to develop your marketing skills, your sales skills, how to present yourself in a certain way that will resonate with those people. Because once you understand who those people are, you craft a message on a how to reach them. But you need to understand, like I said earlier, that they buy you. You are the person that they buy. Once they trust you, if you're selling a service, an offering, whatever it is that you do, once they trust you, if you have something that makes sense to them that fixes one of their problems, they'll buy it from you because they trust you. So you are your brand. You are right. Look at, we live in a world where reality TV has changed everything. People want to know who owns companies. People want to see a face of the company that they're buying products. They're buying products from. So you need to be that face. If that face is you, you need to develop who you are as a person. You need to be able to develop the skills to be capable of providing information in a way that resonates to people. Like, I'll give you an example of from the first week of September to mid-December, I've recorded about 85 podcasts as a guest. So I've appeared on 85 different podcasts. Why do you think I did that?
Why? Because you want to help and serve other people and spread your message, maybe, I guess.
As per Podmatch, the platform we met on, I've reached 2 million people by doing that. I reach, on good months, I reach between 5 to 10 million people by myself on my social media. So I reach 3, 4 times more people by just doing what I do on a daily basis. So technically, if you look just at the views, it was a waste of time. But that's not why I did it.
Mm,
I did it because I wanted to be challenged. I did it because I wanted to develop my message in a way that I could present it to anybody. 4 months ago, I knew what I was talking about. I did it all the time, but I never had been challenged by a bunch of people with different opinions than me that wouldn't agree with me. Maybe they agree with me, maybe they don't, maybe they just play devil's advocate, whatever they did. I
mm,
wanted to put myself in a difficult spot in order to be able to answer every question that came my way in a way that it makes sense, in a way that I could convince people that what I was saying was worth listening to. You
mm,
might not agree with me, you might disagree. It's fine. That's fine. You don't need to agree with what I'm saying. But I wanted to learn to make sure that I could get people to at least listen. Because that's how you change people's mind, is by convincing them that they should at least listen to you. Every single person in my life that changed my mind on something I didn't agree with in the first place because I was thinking I was right. But I took the time to listen and I'm like, you know what? Maybe they do have a point. So
yeah.
that's why I've recorded so many podcasts, because I wanted to continue developing the skills that I already have as a sales engineer, as somebody that did high end sales, but to do it on a different way, to do it on a podcast, to do it, maybe we do it in writing. I've taken a lot of copywriting classes. I've written my first book last year. I'm writing my second one like right now. Those are not skills I possessed 2 years ago. Those are things I've developed because I know some people learn better through reading. Some people learn better through videos, through reels, through face to face content. Know what I mean? So it's a matter of really understanding who you're speaking to and how to deliver the message to them in a way that resonates with them. And how do you do that? By testing, by not being afraid to put content out there that, you know what, might get a lot of hate, might get no views at all, might get no comment, no views, no nothing. Maybe you took 2 hours to make that video, you post it, and nothing comes out of it. So you need to understand the people you're talking to. You need to brand a message that resonates with those people. Then you need to know how to record videos or how to write properly in order to make it at least attractive to people. Then you need to post it. That's the fourth step, is to post it, put it out there, and continue posting it out there by making sure you're creating the best content that you can create. And then your fifth step is, let's look at the numbers. Numbers don't lie. If you look at the numbers of certain type of content that you've created, you can break it down in a way where you're okay, this worked, this didn't. Why didn't it work? Why did it work? How do I duplicate success while avoiding pitfalls? Because a lot of people fall in love with the type of content that they create. A lot of people like podcasting, but podcasting doesn't work that well anymore. People want to see reels. So I readapted the way that I do podcasts now in a way, in a response to the numbers that I've seen. I love to do podcasts similar to Joe Rogan where I can go 3 hours with an interesting guest, but nobody watches this anymore. Unless you're recognized as that type of person and you have a massive audience, people don't care. So my new podcast, Men Helping Men, is 5 minutes. From beginning to end, it lasts about 8 minutes. Super simple question. Here's 5 minutes to my guest. You answer that question. Awesome. Thank you. If people want to know more, look at the description. That's where you can find that guy. Pow, we're done.
Yeah, I agree totally with you. Now we are in the time of we all as people wanted to what we want. What we want is like yesterday, not now. Yesterday,
Mhm,
right? So
mhm.
everything is fast paced with the internet, social media, a lot of things, AI. We want the solution like yesterday. So I am one of the people that, for example, a small example, if I read books, for example, I try to read the chapters that would actually benefit me. I
Mhm.
don't read the whole book from beginning to end because I know like most like at least all of the books, at least half of the book is like useless to me, at least.
Sure.
So I kind of agree with you, but because that's very important. So now, what would you say as a final takeaway for people to take from this and start put it into action? Because you mentioned eventually, even if the content was bad, you develop with time and you can improve with time, and with time you can see the numbers go up and up. But the important thing is the way I see it also is consistency. You have to be consistent.
Yep. There's a million different things that you, maybe not a millions, but there are at least 20 things that you need to do in order to create better content. So, your number one step, post every day. Like this is a simple step that everybody can do. And don't be too worried about how good it is. Because you know what? Some of my most popular videos took my phone out. Something came up to mind. I took my cell phone. I was doing something. I could have been at the gym. I could have been walking somewhere. And I just literally took my phone, started talking into it. Within 10 minutes, the video was recorded, edited, captions added. It's posted on all my social media, and I get hundreds of thousands of views on them. So this to me is the most important skills you can develop is develop, understand human psychology, understand NLP. If there's one thing I can tell you right now, learn human behavior. Learn to understand human behavior. If you can understand psychology, NLP, and sales as a whole, you're golden. It doesn't matter what you're going to do, you're going to be successful.
Yeah, I totally agree because eventually we are humans with dealing with other humans. No matter how much AI come into the game with marketing, sales, and whatever it is, the videos made by AI characters for AI and these kind of things. Eventually, I do prefer the human element of things because
Yep.
now each one of us might be scrolling YouTube or Facebook or Instagram, and you can tell if this video is a real human or if it's just a hologram or whatever it is.
Yep.
So yeah,
Very
awesome.
simple to tell. Very, very easy to tell.
Definitely, definitely. So the more authentic, the more you are in front of the lines, the more you post, and with time, with consistency, it will come uh, with time. So Nico, where can people get in touch with you, learn more about you? Because you provide us here with great information, and I'm sure that people who would listen to this will be encouraged to do whatever it is they have to do. Because eventually, the problem is that I see a lot, sometimes on Facebook comments or whatever it is. What mic should I choose for the podcast? What camera should I shoot to shoot this video? What keep delaying things for the small stuff, and it does not matter. Like you and I, we started with like what we already have, and you improve with time. This is what we're talking about here. So where can people can in touch with you, learn more about you, so they can learn more?
Just go to plproduction.co.
Mm.
Look at the Alpha Creator Blueprint, which is everything that we spoke about today as part of that. But this is again, I know this brings me the most views that I get come from here. Just a cell phone, no external microphone. Just I know how to record properly so my voice sounds good. I know content creators with millions of followers that don't even record properly, but their message is so on point. They're so good at selling their message that they get millions of views on every single videos they put out there. The sound is crap. Like I'm listening to the sound and I'm like, I have studio level headphones to pick up every single thing that I can hear when I'm editing long form content. I look at their videos, I'm like, oh man, this is terrible. But yet you look at the views, you look at the interactions, you look at the content, the way they create it is genius. So
Mm.
you don't need much to
Mm.
create content. You don't need much. It's all
Mm.
about the skills that you possess as a person that
Mm.
will really make you shine.
Exactly. And what was what we were talking about at first, like it's who you are, showing who you are, and authenticity,
Mhm.
and adding value and serving other people. So thank you, Nico, for being here today with me on this episode of the Success Secret Podcast. Amazing to have you here. A lot of essays there.
Yeah, it happens.